This video is under fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticisms, comments, news reportings, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing.
CCNTV, bringing you captivating news since 2019.
Hey. Welcome to another episode of Politics and Wellness. I am your host, Captivating Great. Here we go. How about now? Can you hear me? Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Still nothing? All right. Let me just go out and come back in. All right. I'll let you up, sir, so I can go out. I'll let you up and I'll just go out and come back in.
Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Technical difficulties. Y'all know how this garbage goes. Hope everybody had a nice weekend. Nice, safe one. Hey there, Patty Duke, Natasha, Shane. Hey, Melissa Scott. Hope everybody's doing well. Ooh, are we even still on?
I can go out. I'll let you up and I'll just go out and come back in.
Good evening, everybody. I can't tell whether or not I'm still live.
All right. How about now?
Okay, I guess I am still live. Okay, good.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Sure can.
Okay. Cool. All right. Welcome, everybody. Thank you. Sorry for the technical delay, but hopefully everybody is doing well. It's Tuesday, of course. Do note that your waiter or waitress will be around with your drink of choice. My drink of choice today is water because I was sick. So, and I didn't even get a chance to go to my buddy Russ. He had his birthday party with the brim and sticks, which is this whole hat and cigar type of ordeal. I've went to one already where I've now become the spokesperson on their website. I didn't know, but so they did a second one. I didn't. I just happened to know.
What is it called again? Blunts and hats?
No.
Hey, Melissa, we going there, girl. Blunts and hats.
Rims and sticks. So I missed it, and I bought a hat and everything, and I was ready to rock it, but I didn't feel well, and I didn't want to make nobody else sick or whatever. So I was like, no, I'll sit this one out. So but my friend did tell me that on their website my picture is up, and I kind of figured because the lady was like, "Oh, you look so nice. You look so nice." I was like, "Lady, it's just a hat and an outfit. It's not that."
They were pimping you out.
But she was like,
"What is it called again? Sticks,
brims, and sticks." So
is this big sticks and floppy hat? I don't know.
Well, I mean, it could be. I don't know. I'm not a stick connoisseur, so maybe you saw something I didn't see. I don't know, can't tell. But anyway, hope everybody is doing well. And so, without further ado, of course, we all know that yesterday was the remembrance of 9/11, and of course, prayers go out to the families that lost loved ones and those who were impacted due to 9/11. But moving right along. To news that we can use a little bit of. Let's get this started and get this ball rolling. Hold on one second. All right. Let's start here. All right. Let's get this started. So, of course, we have a few updates for you today. The first update that we have, of course, is the five Minneapolis police officers, Memphis police officers, Minneapolis, you hear me? 5 Memphis police officers that have been indicted with federal charges due to the death of Tyre Nichols. Remember those 5 officers that pulled Tyre Nichols over. As they claim, it was a traffic stop, but as the story unfolded, one of the police officers that was involved in the stop of Tyre Nichols was dating or was used to date someone that Tyre Nichols was actually dating. There were other officers involved. None of the officers, like the supervisor, hasn't been charged, was able to retire or resign with benefits. These 5 officers, who all happen to be black men, shame on them, are the only ones that have been federally charged. The Justice Department just charged them as well. So this, of course, this story is going to, once it goes to trial, and all other details come out about all the other officers and their involvement and their cover-up, I do hope that the supervisors and the people above these officers actually are the ones to also get in trouble too. I don't think they should be able to walk away scot-free without any kind of justice meeting them. But these 5 are facing criminal court charges in the Shelby County in Tennessee for second-degree murder, aggravated assault, and 2 counts of aggravated kidnapping, 2 counts of federal misconduct and official oppression. Each of the former officers have pleaded not guilty to these charges, and just like I said, today, actually, the Justice Department just dropped some charges on them as well. So it's not looking good for these 5 men here.
Not only that, we have to see. We're gonna see whether or not it affects any of their other cases that these officers have been involved with, also.
Right. Because of course they were part of a drug task force team that apparently they have been like a drug and crime task force team, and they have been going around the city basically roughing up people when they feel like it. And because something similar to like what they were doing in the city of Baltimore, as long as they keep the numbers down, they were allowed to do whatever they want until things went awry and people started to discover that they were actually robbing a lot of the drug dealers, taking their money and doing other things, covering up other crimes, and everything kind of went to shits. So similar in this case here. The murder of that young man after he died, I think 5 or 6 days later in the hospital due to the injuries he suffered from being beat from these 5 officers after a traffic stop. Yeah. And they deserve every bit of it. But I just want everybody to be, I don't just want them to be the scapegoat because they're the officers. I want the people who created the unit, because I know they don't look like me. I want everybody involved who okayed the purpose of this unit, everybody to face the charges. New video cam footage is to come out. I think it came out today as well, or either yesterday during the candlelight visual of more things that happened to Tyre during this altercation with the police officers. Of course, the city has been on alert since this news has dropped that the Justice Department has placed new charges, as well as the videotape. Excuse me, getting all tongue-tied. So I don't know. I mean, I don't even want to say we've seen this so much that it's somewhat immune to it, but I'm just tired of the people who should be getting the charges. They don't get the charges. Granted, the people who commit the acts are the ones getting the charges, but it's higher than just them. And I think if you start at the root, you'd be able to get, the leaves and all the other things that fall from it. So I think the root is the problem. But I don't know. Any thoughts on?
No.
Okay. He said, no. Also, in an updated case, we talked about this months ago, and I forgot about it myself. This young man in Indianapolis who was arrested by police officers, and basically he was talking back to them, and not in a vicious way, but just like, you can't do this to us anymore. We're not taking this kind of. This is during like the George Floyds, the Tiana Taylors, all these things, when all these unrest was happening across the country. This young man was arrested, and he was handcuffed. And as he's handcuffed and, talking with the police officers, and they'll just shut up and this, that, and the other, he's just saying, you can't do this to us anymore. And he was pushed down while he was already handcuffed. And one of the officers just came by and kicked him in the face. Said enough, but then of course they said stop moving and all that other stuff that they like to do. If you want to check out the video, you can definitely check it out on what's his name? Ricky. That's what I just look at. Undisputed. Definitely check it out at Undisputed. Because of course here they'll just erase the whole thing, and then it won't get monetized and nothing, and because they don't like me like that. So you can watch Undisputed. You can see the whole video of the incident where the young man was kicked in the face. However, today he was sentenced to a year and a day in federal prison due to his actions. He's been indicted and charged for misconduct, among some other things. Which is a first, really, for a police officer to even face charges for something that they would kind of deem just kind of getting the assailant together and using aggressive force, but not unwarranted. And this is the first kind of case where unwarranted, unneeded, unnecessary force was used on a handcuffed person, and this person is actually going to go to jail. Now, if he's going to do the whole year and a day in federal prison, I don't think so either. However, it's a start. But again, I wish they would start taking money from these people, because threaten them with a vacation for a couple months in a prison where you're going to have other officers who are correction officers kind of looking out for them and protecting them and kind of making this a sweet, comfortable transition for a couple of months. It's not enough. It's not enough. When pensions start to get garnished, they have to pay restitution out of their own pockets. I think that's when people will start, because people only start paying attention when you're messing with their money. They don't pay attention when the money is coming from someplace else, because it doesn't affect them. When it comes from their pockets, I think that's when you start to see the effect of these things. Your thoughts on this, if any?
Yeah, and prime example of that today, another article came out where a young woman was hit by a police car. She was a pedestrian, and she had the right of way, and the officer struck and killed her. Now, listening to the union supervisors, of course, all of this was caught on the body cams.
Right.
And the first thing they said, they were describing the accident. Mm-hmm. And the second thing that was said was, just write him a check. Yeah, just write him a check. And that was it.
Wow.
And this woman was 25, and he made some other remark. She was 25. It's like, well, she wasn't going to amount to anything. It was real hateful. But that just came out today. But that's how they think of you.
Yeah. No, very true. Very true. And if it's like, okay, if it's just that easy, just write him a check. Okay, write him a check from your bank account. I don't want it from the union's bank account. I don't want it from the dues that you pay.
Yes, I don't want it from you. Let's take it from you. Let's let you sell your home.
Yes.
And
pay me for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And pay
but
you
it was
for the rest of
but just listening to him, it was like, it's like I'm not surprised at that thought. Mm-mm. I tell you, these cell phones and body cams have been telling a lot on these people.
Yeah, it really is. Especially when they can't go back and edit and cut out and splice.
Yeah.
When they have to.
Yeah, but there's some states and some cities where they have a third party that handles that.
Yeah.
And I think that's a problem, because I still think there's a lot of it that's being tampered with.
Yeah. No, very true. Oh, you're right on that. You're definitely right. Because
Hey, Virginia Redbone, good to see you.
hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome for popping into the chat. Where am I doing? I was looking for something. So, also in some other news, sorry that just popped up. Your homeboy is in trouble. Well, he was almost in trouble. He skated away by the tails of his little piggy fat feet. Um, so in the Georgia special prosecution against the grand jury, of course, against Darnell of the Don Juan Trump, in regards to his election case and him trying to steal the election, because of course his election or his voting count was the only count that was messed up. Everybody else's count was good, but he was the only Republican on his own ticket that it was an issue. Well, of course, Lindsey Graham, who was a part of the Judiciary Senate Committee, who had nothing to do with checking any election anywhere other than in his own state of, was it North Carolina, South Carolina?
Yeah. Now remember, that's not even his state.
Right, that's not even his state. He just has nothing to do with Georgia. He's not even a senator in the state. He was really just doing this to do Trump's bidding. And they just think that they can do these things and there's no repercussion because who's going to check me? Almost like Sheree said, who's going to check me, boo? Like, I mean, the reality is, no, you had no right to do that. You had nothing. The committee you're on in the Senate had nothing to do with the election at all. Not one bit. You're a senator of a state that has nothing to do with Georgia. Why are you involving yourself in their business to call the person in charge of the election to tell them, oh, you need to find these votes? Why are you doing this? On behalf of Trump, of course. So you can look good to the big guy if you were able to get this pulled off for him. So the jury came back and said, yeah, he should have been indicted. He definitely should have been indicted because he played a criminal role in this situation. Now, Fani Willis did not. And like many other people have said, maybe because the case wasn't strong enough to actually nail it to him in a sense where he would be really going to jail. But there may be a way to get him.
Oh, he was upset.
Right. Maybe not, because there still may be a way to get him because he may have to then testify either against or on behalf. And then they just check him on the stuff that the information he's already given. And if he winds up perjuring himself, then okay, bam, we got you. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know about this guy. Like, I don't know. I don't know what made people vote for him a second term. I really just don't. There's nothing that this man wants. He will lie to your face. He'll lie to say.
He's the epitome of corruption.
Yeah, I mean, these people killed me. Like, as much as they talk about corruption and, oh, this doesn't look good for the American people, you know, this is like using the law to attack, but you were doing criminal acts, though. You were trying to take an election that you lost and flip it and deny people who voted, their votes don't count. Let's just flip it back. You can't do that. I mean, granted, it sounds like, and like I was watching Roland Martin this afternoon, a replay, I think from last night. And I was thinking the same thing. I've been saying it, that this is not the first time they've done this. They did this in 2000 with the whole dimple chads and hanging chads. You had old boys down in Florida. They was the same ones banging on the doors and acting stupid while people were trying to count and find out if this is a dimple, if that's a punch, if this is a punch. They were doing all that, banging on the walls to kind of fear people up and get people to, oh, just forget it. Just say so-and-so won. And they just elevated it. Every time they got close enough, they elevated it. Now we're at this point where you're just saying, oh, well, it doesn't really matter. We could say whoever won, and as long as we go out to the people and say it was rigged, doesn't matter what the evidence shows. We can just go around and keep saying it was rigged, it was rigged, it was rigged. But you can't, if the evidence really doesn't show that, why are you able to say that? And it's just because you white, does that make you the say all to say, okay, this is rigged and I'm supposed to? It's just crazy to me. It really is. I don't get these people. I don't. And on both sides, because trust, I got some heat for this old Penance, old ass Nancy Pelosi. Some people that just can't sit their ass down because enough money is enough money. You've made enough. Sit your ass down. But we'll get to her later. But yeah, any thoughts on old Lindsey, Lady G Graham?
No, I'm so over him. I am so over him. I am. He is just corruption at its best. He really reminds me of Dr. Smith off of Lost in Space. He really does. He just does. He makes me sick. He would fit well in the beef sector with a lot of these flip flops. Oh yeah, he sure would. Is he a verse?
he's more of a power, but
okay.
Yeah, he's more of a power. But speaking of pigs, in some kind of health stuff, which was kind of like pigs and human organs. So there's been some groundbreaking studies in some science, world science actually, that I think it was China, I want to say. Might have been China. Yeah, it was China. China researchers have grew humanized kidneys in pigs. Yeah. So I think pigs are the only animals that have like 4 chambers in their heart like we do.
Yeah.
So they've been able to grow human-like kidneys in pigs that they can utilize to, of course, do what? Donate organs.
Mm-hmm. And they taste like bacon.
Right. And you could just walk around smelling and tasting like bacon all day. Like, I mean, I have no idea. They've used rats' organs produced in mice, and mouse organs have been produced in rats. Human organs in pigs have not been successful, but human-like organs in pigs for humans have been successful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a kind of a strange one.
Yeah, I mean, almost like what's that? Dr. Morange or Dr. something?
Dr. Moreau.
Yeah.
Well, they own the majority of pig farms here in the States.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
It's not all that's not for no wonton soup. I tell you that. all that pork.
I don't eat pork, but
definitely.
You guys have at it with your pork kidneys.
Like I said, who knows what else is being done true. Over there? I mean,
Yeah.
Because remember too, they at one time they had such a large population, you just had to worry about feeding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because remember 20, 30 years ago, they were third world.
Yeah.
They were third world.
Really
until they started stealing everybody's technology, and other people started selling them technology, and then they became a driving force. Because when you have people that will work for below our standards of minimum wage, get them to do anything,
Yeah. I don't know. That's crazy.
So I wonder if this will stop the disappearances of so many people. Because I still believe they're body.
Yeah, harvesting in the black market. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think so. I think this is a way for them to probably continue and keep it covered up, because they'll be able to say, oh, we're utilizing this, and people will still go missing
Mhm.
because there are certain things that organs that they probably still use
You
from
say,
people
you
that
say Soylent Green. No, Soylent Green is us, Patty. Soylent Green is
no,
us. Remember that? Did you ever see that Soylent Green?
no.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Yeah. Because I know we discussed it earlier this year. Little green cubes.
little green cubes, yeah.
Because it was a food shortage. And
Oh
and
wait, I think there was a movie like that. Oh, what is that? Snowpiercer. They were
oh,
on a they're
on the
on a
train or
train.
something.
Yeah, they're on a train, but they use the bodies of children and they reproduce their bodies for food sources, but their food source is like this little cube, like this nasty little cube thing.
Babies on the train. Now you
Yeah,
know.
it's crazy. But speaking of pigs, Ron DeSatan. Ron DeSatan loses his shiznit after a black vet calls him out about the shooting in Jacksonville. The aftermath of the horrible shooting in Jacksonville, Florida, continues to play out in the state. On Thursday, Florida Governor Ron DeSatan, otherwise known as Ron DeSatan, loses his cool after a black Air Force veteran questioned whether the governor's policies contributed to the horrible killing of the 3 black residents by the man donning a swastika and a white supremacist badge. I mean, I don't even need to read anything else because it was just like you did. You know what I'm saying? Again, these politicians, they kill me. They get to say this shit, and then when stuff really happens, they act like, "Oh no, nobody meant for that to happen." You're looking at January 6th when we're going to storm the Capitol, and I'm coming with you. What do you think these honkies was gonna do? And I'm sorry, white folks, but what do you think these crackers was gonna do?
White lies. And they figure if you say it enough that it's believable, and it's not. We see you. We just stop responding because we know what you're about.
Right.
Just plain and simple,
With the
he know everything that he's done. Everything that he's done.
With the young lady, with the senator out of Phoenix, out of Arizona, that was shot in the head. I want to say Kathy Giffords, but that's
Gabby Giffords.
Gabby Giffords. Shot in the head because you had Alaska, I see Russia from my backyard, bitch, putting crosshairs on people's heads. And you didn't think that was going to trigger somebody to be like, hey, if I do this for, the person I believe in, they'll praise me. Yeah, these the way these people think. You know that. I don't know why these people think that they're not going to carry out these acts. And like they're just hands free. Like it had nothing to do with me. I didn't make them do it. It's not the gun that kills the people. It's the people carrying the gun. No, motherfucker, it's the people talking that shit too. Because enough you put that stuff and feed them in their heads, they'll actually be beholden to it. So it's just ridiculous. I don't know
of any animal group that allows the dumbest member of their group to lead them. I really don't. I think it's just strictly human. It's a human thing.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you really have.
It's really crazy. You don't see a wolf pack doing that.
Yeah. No, you don't see any group doing that but us. And it's the crazy part. The sad thing is that these quote unquote founding fathers knew that this was going to happen. That's why they made the thing called the Constitution, and they put in place, which of course we now ignore because nobody's paying attention. The whole reason why this shit was set up because they didn't want some dodo kind of running the country. They figured you people are not smart enough because y'all gonna have an idiot run this and it's gonna all go to shit. So but You got one now. Or you on the verge of having another one. You already had it for 4 years. I mean, what more do
You
you
gonna try
want?
it again? Yeah. Look how the rules quickly change.
Yeah.
Once something like this happens, then all of a sudden this is unprecedented. We've never come across anything.
Right.
Then you know what you
We don't know
do?
what to do. Hey.
hmm Well, you could try shoot. You could, in my book, you can try shooting it. That'll work. Then it won't happen again.
Yeah, they're afraid now. They're telling them, "Oh well, if we do this, we're gonna make him a martyr." Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Who cares? How many people have y'all killed already? And that martyr thing didn't seem to quite work out.
Mm-mm.
So I think you're safe on that bet.
Yeah. Plus, I got a long list anyway.
Yeah, right. How about it? So speaking of other pigs, because we got a few pigs in here, Elon Musk has committed an evil. Okay, he used his Starlink, which is Starlink is a satellite communications that he has, right? And he had them basically stop communicating where Ukraine was utilizing the same satellite during their fight or war or whatever with Russia, to kind of give Russia the heads up in the situation and leave Ukraine in the dark. Am I surprised by them doing this? Absolutely not. When you look at Facebook and what they have done in regards to getting themselves involved in the election by actually putting out information that was incorrect and all the other kind of stuff, and then when they got to go before Congress to actually answer for this, it's all I don't know about, I'm not involved in, I don't know nothing about what happens or what goes out as far as the feed that goes out that my company represents. So I mean, again, you can read the article if you want to, but in a nutshell, that's just what he did. And of course now he wants to act like no, I didn't. It wasn't purposely. It wasn't done on purpose.
He did it on purpose.
He did it on purpose. He did it on purpose. Putin has plenty money. Russia may not, but Putin has plenty money.
Mm-hmm.
And all these people know and understand is money. And that's all they want to do is make sure the wealthy stay wealthy. They do not want to share any bit of it. So anybody who's willing to buy for any kind of favors, they will do. And again, you look at Russia and Ukraine, it's like two white people fighting. One white person happens to have a little more money than the other white person. That's it. So they don't really know who to pick. So they just gonna go, with the person.
Playing both ends.
Yeah.
Let me give you the ghetto version of it. In essence, he turned off the Wi-Fi. They were using drones. And not just the airborne drones, but boat-like drones. Yeah. And they were going to attack a naval base. Mm-hmm. And they were saying, in comparison, it would have been a little smaller than the Japanese attacking the U.S. It would have definitely turned the tide in the war. So he turned off the Wi-Fi. You can't guide these robotic weapons. You can't. And in essence, the boats just floated to shore. Because they had they had no guidance. So he put his little fat chubby hands. This war could have been over with.
It would have been over
because it would have been enough to cripple the Soviets.
Right.
As far as their sea to land exploits there. But when you have millionaires that are in essence guiding a war, because he's selling them equipment. Right, there's always that profiteering going on, where you're selling weaponry, you're selling food, you're selling clothes, you're selling ideas.
Yes, right.
And you're playing both ends. Mm-hmm. And he's another one. He could catch a hot one to the head too.
Yeah. Speaking of catching a hot one to the head, this week Vladimir Putin himself said that, I'm paraphrasing, that the United States government, in their attack on Donald Trump, is showing how corrupt the United States government is. by the way they attacked Donald Trump. And I said, now look at this here. And nobody has yet mentioned it. I think somebody mentioned it today, and I've heard it like
what? How that man fell out that plane?
The mid part of last week, right? The mid part of last week. Like, who's taking orders? Who's listening to what the fuck Vladimir Putin is saying? This man just shot somebody out of the air who was trying to basically overthrow his regime. He got talked down by a friend of his who backstabbed him, of course, for some rubies and some bread. And he was flying his own private jet that Vladimir and everybody else knew that it was his jet, where it was leaving from, and all of a sudden, miraculously, the plane comes flying out of the air in pieces. Yeah, okay. And we'd want to think that he had nothing to do with it. Yeah, okay. But we talking about corruption. Anybody this man does not see fit to breathe, they usually stop breathing. Please don't talk about anybody being corrupt, sir, at all. You the last person.
The new movie, Bombs on the Plane.
Yeah, right. You and Darnell.
Please put them goddamn bombs on the plane.
You and Darnell should be the last mofos talking about some goddamn corruption. Last people. And lastly, in the last pig I have for today. It aches me. It's just like a thing in my throat to say it. House Leader McCarthy calls for a formal impeachment inquiry into the Biden administration amidst pressure from other conservatives. Now, granted, if there was really something to impeach the man on, I would be like, sure, have at it, because everybody is equal under the law. So if he did something criminal that would cause up charges, then yes, so be it. But if you're just putting inquiries out for charges because you just happen to have the majority to do so, and y'all think that that's going to give y'all the, oh, look, we're strong, showing power. Well, why you have the majority, why not do something for the people? Because if you're going to hang this up on what Hunter Biden is sniffing and smoking and sticking up his ass, he's not the president. So why the fuck are we so concerned?
Hunter Biden is slamming.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. And just as Donald Trump did with his children while they were in the White House, let's not forget his daughter getting all them patents out of China. Mm-hmm. The son-in-law getting $2 billion from the Saudis. How you think he got that? Because of his good looks? Hell, fuck no. He got it because his father-in-law is the president of the United States at the time. And of course, there was a cozy deal worked out.
Of course, nepotism. All of them do it. All of them do it.
They all do it, right? But of course, now it's like, I have the power, so let me just, throw it out there. But I don't know. I think this will backfire pretty bad. It really would. If the Democrats,
Democrats definitely need something in their favor, because they're not listening to the people. If everybody's telling you the same exact thing, what don't you not get?
They playing good cop, bad cop. They don't want to be the bad guys.
Look, all of them are crooked. All of them are crooked. Good evening, everybody coming into the chat. Hey, Queen Diva. Hey, Bohemian. Beauty.
Yeah, I mean, we know that, but it's funny to me how they think and do.
Yeah, but it's just a waste of time. Y'all don't do. They don't do shit. They don't do shit as it is. Okay.
No.
They had the nerve to go on vacation or wherever it is.
Right. You got the local government doing more than your actual people in Washington right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and Mitch McConnell can't do shit. No way.
Oh, glitch Mitch. Yeah, boy, I know that motherfucker shook. He couldn't begin to clean up the shit that he has done. It's like
he got them visits, child, them spirit visits.
That's right. Well, I ain't even gonna waste no prayers for you, baby, because ain't no hope in hell
No,
that you could get your way out of this one.
no, not at all.
No way in hell.
On his way out. But in some good news, remember a couple of weeks ago we talked about Alabama and the conservative power in Alabama trying to reconstruct the maps and reconstruct the entire goddamn capital of Alabama to make sure that they have a white jurisdiction over black areas and black congressional congresses. The courts have struck down that, saying that it diluted the power of black voters. I mean, surprise, surprise. But we have yet to see if the Supreme Court, this was filed by the Supreme Court, which is cool. We don't know if it'll go further or if they'll try to appeal it, do their state courts, and see if it'll go back and forth. But we shall see. I, for one, was a bit surprised on that because I just really thought they were going to be able to steamroll that one while we're so concerned talking about other stuff that Alabama was just going to let that one slide on through. And the majority in the Supreme Court in D.C. rather was just going to be like, oh, well, no, move right along, nothing to see here, because they do have the majority in the court. So I was very surprised to see that the Supreme Court itself said, no, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. So I don't know. That was interesting for me. I say that. I really thought that they was going to steamroll this thing, and I was about to be like, these southern states about to take a big bite off of what happens with Alabama, and they're going to run with it.
Like they've been doing with everything else.
Yeah, right. That part is true. So that's why I say definitely your local elections are very important because these things matter. They're not even playing a game of DC anymore. They really don't care too much about what happens in DC. They know that the power lies in your state and local. Local. They are fighting.
And I don't see why people are having such a hard time seeing this.
Yeah.
That's what I don't understand. You see what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they're lessening your chances, but yet you're still going to opt out. Just give your vote away. Give your ass away.
Yeah, I know it's crazy. But so it's scary, but it's crazy nonetheless. Also, in some other news, and this was a bit chilling for being in the upper east part of the country. I can't breathe, says a child who was held underwater and called racial slurs by a white teen in Massachusetts. A 14-year-old was indicted on attempted murder and other charges. His prosecutors say that he was racially motivated. It was a racially motivated incident. A white teenager has been indicted on attempted murder charges in Massachusetts after he was accused of calling a black child a racial slur and repeatedly dunking him in the water. Yeah.
Not surprised.
Crazy. I mean, no, it's not, but it's crazy.
But the thing that, when all this stuff really started to come to light, the thing that really got me was how the northern states, which you just assume that it's just because of proximity, that they weren't as bad as the southern states. But you got to remember too, a lot of people migrated up.
Yeah,
and they brought these
in your face. It's not it's different. It's the same, but it's a different kind of level in a different way it's carried.
Yeah,
especially Boston itself for years. I mean, I've had two cousins who lived in Boston and grew up in Boston, and they would come visit. And for years, we've always been told that it was bad. It's bad. It was like, blacks over here, whites over here. It was pretty much almost as worse as it would be in the South, minus the whites only, blacks only signs. But it was like an unspoken in that way. So yeah, that's prayers go out to that young boy and his family. This horrible situation.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, sad that here in day and age of 2023, we're still dealing with this. But then again, you got old white men shooting at black teenagers for coming to the wrong door instead of just saying, "Oh, sir, this is the wrong house."
Yeah, and then you wonder why kids are so depressed.
Yeah,
all the time. You absorb, even though they they're on TikTok and Instagram and everything else with all the foolishness that goes along with that. But they're also how much of this stuff that they're actually being exposed to.
Yeah.
On a daily basis,
Right.
and you kind of figure you don't have any hope, or you're gonna one day that you're gonna have this problems. One day somebody's gonna come in your face and say some shit or do some shit.
Yeah.
I just say protect yourself and rock them motherfuckers. Plain and simple. I mean, that's the only way. If if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So that one day, and pick and choose your friends wisely.
Right.
Everybody is not your friends, especially people of another shade. They are not your friends. They only want to be able to use you for what they can get out of you.
Right. There's definitely not a thing of
and that shit is real. That's not just a Lifetime movie,
No, definitely. It's real life out here. It's unfortunate. It's crazy, but it is real life. Speaking of real life, Nancy Pelosi. Girl, if you don't sit your ass down in your kidney heels and just go about your business.
Go home, take care of your husband.
Right.
Don't he have a concussion, fractured skull or something?
Fractured skull, concussion, all that shit. He's probably glitching like Mitch McConnell. Go take care of him while you still can. Bitch, y'all both old as hell. Go live out your last golden years in peace. Why would you
go play with your grandkids or something?
Why would you need to then come back for run for re-election? To do what? To do what, really? I mean, come on. We get enough of looking at Feinstein's old ass wobble and look crazy, and it's just like, go sit her down somewhere.
What she could do is she could teach a course. Why don't you go on the college circuit, teach a course?
That too.
On how this shit doesn't work, and the loopholes that come along with it. She would be much a lot more valuable in that aspect because of the a lot of things you just pick up but just from work experience.
Yeah.
And you still have a lot of these other people because they're men, they're not privy to certain things. I think as a woman, she would see it from a different point of view because just navigating it as a woman.
Right.
And she could teach you things that a man wouldn't see. Maybe a man of color. But she would be more valuable in that aspect. It comes a point in time when you get older and you can't run as fast and whatever, that your knowledge is more experienced. It teaches you how to little things to look for.
Yeah. And not saying that she can't still be influential in the Senate.
I want somebody else. We need to get some younger people in here that's not ready to drop dead.
I'm just so tired of these old
or got shingles.
These old same old. Like you didn't learn enough. The man was trying to bop your knees. Like he was trying to. The attack was for you. Like he was supposed to come and attack you. Your husband happened to that would be enough for me to wake up and say, well.
Yeah, that they actually got in the house.
Yeah, right.
With security guards.
Right. And even the security get to the door.
He should have just got a Ring doorbell. It saved a lot of money.
What's going on here? What do you mean what's going on? You already know it's an intruder. You already got the alert that there was a break-in the house. So what do you mean asking questions? That's why I think a lot of that's a setup. A lot of these people who are involved in these police departments and security, they all in on it too. They on the Trump train. They want to, fuck some shit up. That's why they were able to do what they did on January 6th and kind of still get away with it. That's why they're crying now. Well, Donald Trump won't pay my legal fees. For what? What do you think he was going to do?
He's not paying his legal fees. So what makes him think you're going to pay for yours too?
How he paying y'all's and y'all paying his too? You paying yours and his.
Mm-hmm.
When you donate to the party, it's going to him and his legal fee.
And believe me, and he was making money off that mugshot. I heard he's going to have to get that money back because that's copyright infringement.
Everybody making money off them.
I tell you,
that is crazy.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Patty. You're absolutely right. If the younger generation don't vote, she'll get right back in because that's one thing about old folks, because you realize that you need to use all the tools at hand to affect some change. You just can't pick and choose.
You can't pick and choose when you want to jump in. You gotta. It's like you have to be consistent. This is not a game for temporary gratification. It does not work that way. They did not amass this power just by one day snapping their fingers and going, "Oh, we're the greatest race in the world." No, they calculated.
It's little moves.
They
over a long
period of time to make sure to ensure that they maintain this kind of level of, all right, we got this security here. Now let's build on this. Let's build on that. It does not happen. So when we aren't consistent and we aren't always, going after or going for the seats, or even if you don't like the candidates, all right, find the candidate that you do like and vote. At least utilize it. Just don't sit it out, because you sit it out and you get bullshit like what we have now.
And be aware of what's going on.
Right.
You don't have to listen to everything.
Right.
Listen to things that pertain to you or to your people. That should be enough to scare you enough to really, stay aware of.
Yeah.
Everything.
True. And in some good news, well, some somewhat good news.
Is there? Was there?
I don't know. I was side-eyeing this a little bit too. But black churches have taken a call to action.
Oh, yeah.
To teach history following the conservative, controversial state policies that many states have been taking to remove black history from schools and other curriculum in the educational realm. Black churches have been taking actions to reinforce black history and lessons and stuff in the church setting, like Sunday schools and things of that nature, which I think is cool, which they was always doing during the civil rights movement. But, of course, once white Jesus got involved, once white Jesus got involved, because they realized how much money and they was making, and they wanted a piece of that money, it was like, yeah, we could make you more money. We could put you on TV.
And you don't have to pay taxes.
Right. And did you know you don't have to pay taxes, and you can get all these fabulous things for you, not your parishioners, but for you. And, and it became the dream. And a lot of these churches have now, followed the golden calf to making money instead of educating and elevating their flock. So it's nice to see that some churches have now, due to the fact that Black history has been somewhat erased or trying to be erased from schools, libraries, and other places, that they are taking the initiative to reinstate that into Black culture due to their services and Sunday schools and vacation Bible schools and things of that nature.
I have a question. Why wasn't this brought up by some of the mega churches? Because they have the resources with, online streaming and things like that.
Why would you ask that question?
Because
you know who runs the mega church the streaming service and screaming service? Who?
White Jesus.
White Jesus. That's why they're not going to talk about it. Because if they white Jesus ain't going to pay them. So they can't talk about that type of stuff.
Because I would have figured that would have been the first thing since they have the resources.
White Jesus don't like that. Not white Jesus. Don't do it. They're not going to talk about it because, of course, that would put them in hot water. They can't talk about that. Millions and millions of people see them all over the world. They all in Africa on satellite while they sitting in huts. help me understand. But you sit here and it's okay to be living in a state where your governor or your collective Congress says, no, we don't need that. We don't need those books. We don't need that history taught. We don't need white children to feel like they have done something. But their ancestors have, their fathers have, their grandfathers have, their grandmothers have. So why can they not feel a way about the stuff that they've done?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right.
But the one good thing is that some churches, and hopefully it will pick up, that they're going back to what the church actually used to be, and not a smaller branch or a co-executive branch of the government, the large government. Because to me, there's always federal, state, and then the church, because they reach the most people. You would have most people involved, and if you always wanted to influence something else in the other two, you would always start with the church, because they would push everything through up through their congregation. But I hope that people take advantage of it, because they're going to have to. Right. Because you're not going to get it in the schools, unless they have some local organization. But then I'm waiting for, say, like in Florida, for them to pass some legislation saying that they, what is it? Not date. What's the, like summer camps or whatever like that. What you can teach and what you cannot teach there. I'm waiting for that type of thing to eventually come.
Probably if it's connected, if it's any kind of camp connected to an educational institution, probably so. They'll probably start doing that.
Because you wouldn't be able to do it in an after-school program on school premises.
Right.
You surely wouldn't be able to do that. But what's the other, what is the kids go and play after school? Like rec centers and that type of thing. You wouldn't be able to do it there either, because they're run by the cities
right. They'd be funded by the cities and states. So, and that all depends on if the city and or the state would allow those kind of extensions of education.
Well, something like this. Something I had it right. Something like DeSantis. What he would do. He would attack that local area, saying we're not going to give you any funding. See, that's what
exactly. That's what I was saying. Like they would just withhold
funding
for
that. So probably the safest place would be church.
Yeah,
for the church to do it, because it's the church.
Right. I mean, unless the church was utilizing their facilities to do other things, do other outreach, where they would then look for funding from the state and or the federal government.
That's only if they were actually funding.
So that's why I say a lot of those churches, when you said the mega churches ain't said nothing, because they can't. Because how would they get federal funding? How would they get funding for the stuff that they do from the state, local governments, if they were to do something like that? Especially if the government itself, the state government, is saying, we don't want to promote wokeism or whatever. And it's like, well, what are they supposed to do? If they stop, they don't get any funding. And then they can't have their big churches and their projectors and their choirs, and you can't see them all on TV and Instagram and all on the cable word network and all that stuff. Yeah, so I don't know. It's crazy.
Well, it falls back into the home. You have those conversations.
Yeah.
And you teach your kids what you want them to know.
Very true. Sounds like a bunch of bullshit to me, because again, back in the day, that's all they had. The church was everything. The church was your school. The church was your social meeting place to talk about the things that were going on in other places. The
church ain't just for hookups anymore.
No. Although there have been some pleasant hookups in church. Yeah. But anyway, all right.
New meaning to Holy Ghost. Hallelujah.
Anyway, let's get back into this. That was all I have for the news portion. So let's get into the next segment of this. And I'll be right back.
Who said that? Who said that? Who has been saying that? Who said that? Who said that?
I said what I said. Yes, who said that? Now, who said that? We got a lot to talk about.
Well, let me take a step.
I don't even know where to start.
The beginning.
Okay, let's start here. So, I don't know if all of you know, or if a lot of you may know or heard whispers, but there was a Delta Airlines flight. All right, that one of the passengers, I don't even know what to say. One of the passengers on the flight had a bit of a bowel issue, and they didn't quite make it to the restroom in time. You know, that little cubicle. So that's why I wanted to definitely bring this out, because I know I've heard word that Brianna is supposed to be getting on a flight to go to Houston. She said to go hang out. The word is she's probably going to go see Dr. Nile. Of course, that's the Lifetime, My 600-Pound Life, which if she is, whatever, congratulations, good for you. But we don't want this to happen to anybody, because I would freak out my damn self. So apparently, this passenger was trying to go to the bathroom and didn't quite make it. And instead of leaving money on the floor, there was a lot of shit left on the floor.
Negative. It's just a biohazard issue. We've had a passenger who had diarrhea all the way through the airplane, so they want negative. It's just a biohazard issue. We've had a passenger who had diarrhea all the way through the airplane, so they want.
Yeah, so shit. Talk about snakes on the plane. There was a lot of watery snakes on this plane, so much so that they had to literally land the plane and take up all of the carpet and everything, because it is a pure biohazard, because that is your insides, and clean the entire plane out. So everybody had to be evacuated.
I'd have just parked the plane all the way on the corner of the field somewhere.
Just burn it. Just burn the motherfucker down. Just burn it. But they literally had to take up everything. Like nobody could take anything but their luggage. Like everything had to be
left there. It had to be sterilized.
Yeah,
because you didn't know what he had. You can't assume.
First of all, the people had to deal with that smell all the way, because they had to turn around. Okay. And and land the plane in emergency. So they had to smell that all the way going back. I can just imagine the
and then on top, and then with the whatever scent they use on top of that. Can you imagine? And you breathing it in. It's like it's all in my mouth. It's all in my mouth. Because
I taste it.
Because all that air is recycled as it is. I would have been so ill by the time I got off.
So dead. So and it was bad. It's bad.
Oh, well, you saw how you see that carpet? I didn't think he had anything. I know he lost about 20 pounds.
I'm just trying to feel like, what the fuck did you? I mean, was it that serious? Did you have to, you had to feel your stomach bloobing while you was waiting for the plane to board? I mean, really would have really been that bad to just sit in the bathroom and let it run its course and then maybe go to the desk?
They have beds. They do have beds on the plane.
I missed my flight because I had, stomach issues, something, and see if they would have gave you a complimentary, take a flight tomorrow or whatever. I just feel like, so be careful out there. Don't go around getting shitted on.
And not only that, they were showing where people were cleaning like the headrests of the flights and how filthy and nasty they were.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, no wonder you always kept.
I always carry the little sanitary
the wipes or whatever.
Yeah, the little cloths, right? In my carry-on bag. to wipe down the seat.
Who was that? It must have been Erica Badu. I think it was Erica Badu.
No, that was,
It was Naomi Campbell.
Naomi Campbell. Yeah, she
She
does
has
that.
she has a biohazard suit and
Yeah.
gloves and a mask, and
And
she's
she
up
wipes-
and she wipes everything down.
She's always done that. Yeah, I saw that too. And she said, I do it every time. In first class or not, she said she don't care. She'll wipe it down.
Yeah, because like I say, it's bad enough you're reading that recycled air.
Yeah, just you never know. So just be careful out there.
Can you imagine what his clothes? Oh my God, they had to probably take him out on the stretcher. They had to take him on the stretcher.
Had to walk in that. Oh my God, today. Oh,
No. The only thing they could have done was maybe put a runner over top of it before the people got off the plane, so that they wouldn't track, so they wouldn't track it any further. That's the only thing you could have done, lay down cardboard or something, because you've been attracted all throughout the whole terminal.
Oh man, when fleeting goes bad. When fleeting goes bad.
I just knew. What do you say when fleeting?
When fleeting goes bad. Now here's another one of this little thing. Listen here. When your kids are out playing and shit, when you're at the beach and stuff, because I know, it's winding down summertime and you get those last little summer hot days and you want to go run to the beach, don't let your children just pick up all types of shit. It's not good. Okay? Take a look at this. Oh,
Dad, what is that? I don't know. It's just a blue jelly. Mom, what is that? You guys know what it is? It's a hard freaking blue jelly. Mom, what is that? I don't know. I'm gonna be mad for the rest of the day. It's hard jelly. Mom, if you don't tell me what that is, I'm gonna be mad for the rest of the day. What is that? I don't know. It's a blue jelly. Okay, I'm mad for the rest of the day.
okay. I'm more disgusted that he is really touching that with his bare hands. Because if he found it on the beach, my God.
I'm sick of his parents. His parents are stupid.
I'm like, where do you got these people? Like, if you don't put that shit, why are you picking that up?
And you let him just swinging it around.
He's just holding it. It had been in numerous anuses on that whole beach. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. And when your child goes to school, got pink eye, pink mouth, and pink butt.
No, hoof and mouth disease. What you talking about?
And all kinds of other infections. So I don't know what happened to little Jesus. Yeah, I know what happened to him. That blue jelly dildo got to him. That's what happened. Absolutely crazy. Please don't let your children just go around touching stuff. Have some home training.
When he brought that thing up there, and I saw exactly what it was. Why didn't she just scream at the top, put that goddamn thing down?
Right, exactly. It was like almost like, oh, this is so cute. What's cute about it?
Because it gave her a viral moment that she could have something to put up.
Oh, okay. So next, when CPS start knocking at the door talking about something, it's a biohazard and you had your child holding it and you didn't tell your child to put that down. It could be dangerous because people do that too. Yeah, that's crazy. I have no words. So please don't have your children out here doing this craziness. Now, here we go with this last tidbit of kind of something interesting. Now, I know there's people with a lot of fetishes. Some people like, to wear different garments to bed and things of that nature. What happened?
No, some reason Patty do blue jellyfish.
Blue jellyfish.
With a suction cup. Now, he'd do that thing and just stuck on his mother's head, that I would have laughed.
That is crazy and nasty all at the same time. But yeah, other people have different fetishes, and that's okay. But have you ever known someone, or you mothers out there, if your husband has ever helped you by getting rid of your breast milk for you by drinking it? Well, here's a couple that has now had their viral moment because they enjoy doing it.
I see nothing wrong with breastfeeding my husband. I actually love the bond. It helps me out. He finishes off the job. A lot of people ask why I do it, why we do it. There's various reasons, but in all actuality, there really is nothing wrong with it. I always like to make jokes that, you can drink other milks out there because you're told to, but when it's milk that is from a person it's a little weird or considered weird. But it is because we tend to lash out on things we don't understand. So that's practically the reason why I wanted to put it out there, so that those who do it don't feel alone.
Like she said, a lot of people lash out on things they don't know or they don't know about. This is just a natural thing. It's natural.
Very natural.
A natural liquid, milk, coming from a human, and it's not hurting anybody. It's not hurting myself. It's not hurting her. So it's just something that we do. It's a necessity.
Yeah, it started off as, hey, finish off the job. I'm in pain. I don't like breast pumps. A lot of people ask about the breast pumps as well.
Just admit that you're freak nasty. I mean, I just don't know what else to say. Why are we making such an explanation? You like to drink her breast milk. You can tell because your cheek is just
me and Patty on the same wavelength. Wow, we got to know. We got to know your kinks and your fetish.
But that's just like, who cares? Nobody cares. You can tell that you clearly carry a lot of milk in your cheeks, fat as they are.
And these stupid men keep listening to these women, and they're the same ones that believe that squirting is a female ejaculate. No, motherfucker, it's piss. She pissing on you, and every time she pisses in your face, she's laughing and she telling all her girlfriends. Oh my God, stupid. That's what happens when you stay in front of the goddamn Xbox or PlayStation all goddamn day long. You need to go out and get real life experience. You're still pissed. Yeah, every last one of them. Yeah. But that's their kink. And they should have left it that way. We don't need to know.
Yeah, everybody does not need to know what makes you twerk.
Yeah, that's right, Lindsey. Blame the women because the men were stupid enough to fall for that shit, and then you're gonna have a whole bunch of men stupid enough to fall for this bullshit too.
Yeah,
make me sick. You just looking there, you sitting there looking. Yeah, might as well. You done fell all into that shit, you dumbass.
Well,
hey, God is really looking stupid.
I'm doing her a service by sucking on her breast milk. Well, it's for the nourishment of the baby, not for you.
Yeah. And you get nothing out of it except for the sexual stimulation, titillation,
and
or whatever. Well, you know what to get. Now, if I come to your house, do I bring the Nestle's quick? Or what?
I tell myself, oh, there's some cereal here. Wait, hold up. Is that breast milk? All right.
You made a cake. Now I got to worry if you put the shit in the food.
That's it. You'd be like, oh,
is it in the macaroni and cheese? Wow, this is so cheesy rich. Cheese. It's
so rich. Full of my breast milk.
I made it from scratch.
Right, it's homemade.
I made it from scratch. Oh my God.
Different from homemade. Retards. Yeah.
Yeah, so, people just stop. We do not need to know.
No, we don't.
Every aspect of your life.
Don't care to know.
Now there are actually groups that do that, and y'all have at it. The world don't need to know. Can you imagine? This man got to go to work now.
Right.
If he worked where I worked at, I'd ride his ass every fucking chance I get.
He gonna be mad when people be like, oh, I got some cereal. Your wife gonna put some milk in there.
Yeah, got milk.
Got milk. Or coming with the got milk t-shirts. He gonna start to get mad and resent the fact that he enjoys doing this with his wife. That's why you should have kept your mouth closed. Now she's gonna like it because it's it's a different.
Yeah, because all the women laughing. Oh, you got another idiot now. You are new queen. You are new queen. They fall for anything. Yeah, they sure will. Right, stupid ass. They dumb. And then out here, he was probably one of those. What do they call it? Something bros. passport bros. He's probably one of them dumb motherfuckers. Just stupid. Yeah, one of them just all did believe all that stupid shit.
Yeah. I know.
Or a hotep. I'm going after everybody tonight. A hotep. Shit. The Lord said, drink it from the fountain of youth.
Not from no cow. Drink from your woman.
That's right. Yeah. She brings you sustenance and nourishment. You bring her the meal, and she cooks it and consumes it, and then she gives it right back to you.
Right.
You're nasty. And it belongs in your bedroom behind closed doors. That's what I believe.
That's it. That's all. Other than that that was all I have for that news. I did forget something real quick. The CDC has advised the board to roll out the new COVID vaccine boosters. So that should be heading towards your local CVS's and Walgreens and wherever else pharmacy things or your doctor's offices soon. And that just dropped today. So if you thought, the old 19.
Oh, yeah, Rona. She ain't going nowhere.
Going nowhere. They even talking about a whole new booster rollout. So,
yeah, Rona was at my house. I'm glad that bitch gone. I'm glad she gone. I sure am.
I can't do it.
What do you say, red pill? Yeah, the red pill men. They stupid too. All the motherfuckers. I sit up here and listen to that shit, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm glad women did. These motherfuckers dumb. They just dumb.
Dumb.
And then they believe they're right. That's what makes it extra worse.
So, in other news that's going on in YouTube, so little stuff or so lot of stuff. I don't really know everything on every story. I think I did hear Sirius Bayless was over at Jay Wilson's panel. They did a conversation / interview. However, it was more of Jay Wilson talking than Sirius Bayless talking. And I will say this. 2 things. If you're going to have a conversation / interview or whatever you're trying to do, 1, don't read the comments, because it's crazy how you said, oh, stop beating up on her, stop attacking her. I'm not going to answer you if you're attacking her. Anybody has a serious question, they can ask the question, but stop attacking her. But yet, the comments that you claim were attacks, you would then post them so people could see them publicly. That was those asinine thing. I'm like, well, why would you say that? Then post them. First of all, don't read them loudly. Only read questions that you feel viable because it's your channel to ask her. Other than that, let her speak. You spent more time. Don't attack her. Don't attack her. Don't attack her. Don't attack her. I'm just asking questions. We're just asking questions because we want to know. It sounds like you wanted to know more than anybody else. Let the woman talk. If you brought her there to tell her side, ask her a few leading questions to get her then to explain different situations, and just let the people talk. You spend more time talking and kind of over talking or self-explaining to the point where it just feels like the person is just there. And why would you invite somebody just to be there to take up space? If you're going to actually have them converse with you, then really do that. So work on that, because that was horrible. VS did pop on later on and basically said that she was a slave and she didn't really do she didn't really do all of her duties that she was supposed to do. Now, granted, I will say even Sirius Bayless herself said a lot of things that she did on her own accord for VS herself. She was not necessarily told to do that. So then when she said it, and then when people were saying, well, you're not innocent in this or whatever, you used to do stuff. It's like, she would say, well, no, that was my friend. I wasn't doing it because of that. I was doing it because she was my friend. But that wasn't the point. The point was you were doing it for her, regardless whether you felt like she was your friend and you was doing it. Whatever you felt justified you in doing the stuff that you did it. That was the point. You were doing the stuff. Whether you felt, I'm doing it because that's my friend. I'm doing it because I believe in her, this, that, and the other. And then now that was a cult. I get it. Maybe you stopped drinking the Kool-Aid and you realize now it was a cult situation. But I don't know. I was just a bit like, okay, I guess. Well, mad day comes for a lot of people and things come out. And it was interesting to hear some of it. But I just that whole part in the beginning, him going back and forth with her, and I'm just like, she hasn't said anything. Every time she says something, he reads the chat, and then somebody is contradicting something that she said due to her past actions. And what you can't do, especially if you're trying to come out of something as awakened, is kind of deny the stuff that people have obviously seen you do in the past. The first thing you want to do is say, yeah, I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that, because I believed this, that, and the other, whatever your belief was. Then, okay, moving forward, you don't have to do that. But the reason people do that to you is because you come into the situation like you was railroaded and blindsided, and you can't believe how this could happen to you after all you've done. And it's just like, but okay. Okay. I don't know if you get it, but I don't know. Hopefully people find peace, because you can't keep talking about the same thing over and over and over for so long, because then after a while it's just like, all right, we've heard that already. So hopefully, parties find peace and they can just move on and just move on. But I don't know. We'll see. Other than that, Rick Reed and Triple Red X got into it. I don't really know how that started. I think it had a little bit to do with Triple Red X addressing Rita, and Rick Reed kind of addressing him for addressing Rita. And then they, on their separate panels or platforms, went back and forth talking about each other. Kind of gave old remnants of old beefing YouTube, where people before the line situation and people would have to make videos and respond with another video. It was kind of like that. I know today Harley Q was basically saying that she didn't like the fact that Triple Red and Rick Reed were going back and forth because she liked them both. And I think there was some misunderstanding that Rick Reed probably took it the wrong way. And he has since apologized to her in regards to that. But I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I recently just learned that Reed and Demetria was going at it. And I was listening to Demetria, and I love Reed. I do. But it was funny. Demetria was like, she bought her book and she wanted her money back. But it's the way she said it. It was funny. She was like, I bought that damn book and I want my money back. I laughed. It was funny to me. But apparently they're going back and forth at it. Apparently the Tea Lounge, I know she was showing some promotions that they were doing a For Colored Girls kind of rendition. I don't know if it was supposed to be the For Colored Girls, like the poem, or if they were doing some kind of adaptation. I don't know, but I know for a while they were doing like these promos. And apparently some stuff came out last night. I didn't hear all of it, that some people were paid for their parts. And I think Reed was supposed to go after Lady Nika, and some stuff came out. And so it was a whole kind of like, oh, okay, didn't know that. I mean, I saw the promos pop up and I was like, oh, that's going to be nice. I've read the poem, so and the song, of course, with Nina Simone. I was like, oh, okay, this might be good. Didn't know how much it was going to be able to actually use the For Colored Girls thing, because that's a whole nother thing that, YouTube would definitely be like, oh, no, you thought you were doing something, but no, stop. So I don't know, but
we're not going to let you.
Right, but the whole concept and the promotion was really nice. So I was looking forward to that, but unfortunately that did not go through. So there was some other back conversation things that got exposed from that. And that's a whole nother thing. Why does everything always, when it goes south, all the conversations and things come out? That was weird. That's always weird to me. What else? Uppity Negro. Now, I'm not a fan of your dirty kitchen or your dirty walls. I'm definitely not a fan of your mac and cheese. However, you are slightly, somewhat, and it's a very small somewhat, growing on me certain times when you say certain things. And it was something you said last night in regards to addressing ODS. And I don't know why you addressed them, but it was funny the way you said it, because he was addressing somebody else in their situation, and he asked that person not to be so quiet and to talk about it. And she was like, oh, like you quiet when everybody mentioned the thing about being in the car with what you call it. And I just bust out laughing like, ooh.
With what? With doing what? Doing where? And right?
In the car with Rico. And for those of you who know, you know. I just not we ain't going down that road. Yeah, so I thought that was funny. And she has her moments where she's funny, but she's a little out there for me. But yeah, and I think that was like the gist of the gist, I think. Yeah, for me, pretty much that I can think of. All right. So in other news, right? So today while I was working, and I'm gonna get this out too because he tried it. While I was working, I'm usually listening to other people, and most of the time, sometimes as I'm ending my shift, finishing up a few cases, I am listening to either whoever is on in the afternoon, and it just happened to be Duchess Kelly Love. So I typed in, of course, as I always do to everybody, hey, chat, everybody, whatever, which is usually already programmed that way because I do that. So then I asked, because I know he watches Big Brother, and I just started like really watching it. I binge watched it one weekend, and then I've like really got into it. So I asked him, who does he think is going to win, or who does he want to win? And when he asked me to respond, I was finishing up my cases, so I could not text him back to answer because I had a certain time to finish. So I just typed working. And so I will tell you now who I want to win Big Brother. I do want Suri to win. Who else? If she doesn't win, no, I do not want her son to win. He could go kick rocks because he runs his mouth too much. Matt, maybe. Matt only because he might get the sympathy vote from me. To be like, oh, well, he was really nice and everybody helped him out. I definitely don't want Cameron because, Cameron wasn't thinking about nobody black or nobody brown to win at all. He wanted to take everybody who looked like him to the final 6 or whatever it was going to be. There was nobody black in his view of making it to the finals. So no, get Cameron out of here. He may be playing a game right now because he happened to win head of household after this whole last thing with him and Red. But I don't like him, don't trust him. Now, as far as Miss Felicia and Ziggy, whatever her name is, both of them two can go. I don't feel no way about this particular setup. These two, if one of them happen to take themselves off the block, then so be it. If not, so be it. Because as we know for viewers, Iggy is waiting for her moment. And when she get the moment, she's going to come after Felicia and or Suri, because she's already known from the beginning that her and Jared were mother and son, because she follows Homegirl's Instagram. So she knew Jared was her son. And she's already said in her confessionals, those of you who watch, that she was going to make them eat out of her hands because she had this secret on them. So Lord knows what she has planned if she ever became HOH. So if she goes, I'm okay. Now, Miss Felicia, she just running her mouth entirely too much, girl. She ran her big mouth over there to Jared, talking about some, I'm in alliance with Cherie, but what about me and you making it to the final 2? Girl, how you doing that? I mean, granted, you don't know that that's his mama, but you just don't know. No, you at least include the woman to say at least final 3. or 4. You know what I'm saying? To make it look like you're not trying to swipe his mama out the deal. Like he wasn't going to go tell his mama. Come on, girl.
Sound dumb. He gonna go tell his mama.
Doing too much. And then which he did. And I don't care for all the other people are kind of expendable. Get America out of here because she's another one. Get the other white boy that wears the pink all the time. Get him out of here. Nicole, I haven't seen the use of Nicole at all yet. I mean, she's like flying under the radar, but no, I don't see her. No, I see maybe 5 for her, but then when it starts to get picky where you gotta really just knock people off, she probably get knocked off. I really don't see Jared in there too much longer if anybody else stays, because these people are not like athletic like that, and they're not thinkers, to say the least. Some of them is like, phew. So I don't know, but that America, get her out of here. She's another one. And the girl from Australia, please, out of here. First of all, you can't be that sensitive playing this game. Like, it's a game where 1 minute somebody's your friend, or you think you're in alliance with somebody, and the next minute things can change. And if you're that sensitive where you're crying because they didn't tell you that they were not going to vote for Jag, that they were going to vote for Red, so you could have went back and told Red, hey, they're deciding they're going to change their vote, they're going to vote for you, because that's just what she would have done. They knew that. That's why they never told her. They never told her any of the moves that they've done, and they let her just vote whatever whatever she thought that they were going to do, and always blindsided her. That's the second time they've done that, because they know she's going to go run back and tell, because she is. So I think when they get a chance, whoever's in power, they're going to put her on the chopping block next. But it's interesting. It's definitely interesting to watch. So those of you who are watchers of Big Brother, definitely check that out. Definitely fun to watch. As far as other shows, Wheel of Time I'm watching, Chicago. The Shy I've watched. Oh my gosh, you got to watch The Shy. One of the characters' fathers was killed last episode, or this current episode, so you definitely want to check that out. I was like, I mean, you kind of always knew it was going to happen because it was the way everything was kind of setting up, but when it happened, it was like, oh no, now you want to know like who did it, or who was the person. I mean, I know it wasn't, of course, one of the other young kids, because they were all at the party together, so it definitely had to be somebody else. And I kind of think I know who it was, but we'll see. But it's a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, Wheel of Time is good and heating up. I have been watching Supernatural, actually. Been watching that on Netflix. I've never seen it before. What happened was I was looking, there was something on the Instagram or something, and they were talking about like some angel or something, and I was just like, oh, a Metatron. I was like, what's that? I was like, that's an angel. So I looked it up, the whole thing, and it's like one of these like high arcing angels, like next to God. It's like a whole kind of, it's described and everything. So I was like, oh, that's weird. Like they were saying like the books of the different, not the Bible necessarily where it talks about it, but the other religious books where it talks about this particular angelic being. And so I'm looking it up, and then Supernatural came up. I'm like, oh, what's that? So I type in Supernatural, and this whole list of like anime things come up on the Facebook, and you can watch the episode on Facebook. So I'm watching. I'm like, oh, this is good. Wound up watching the whole goddamn series. Then all of a sudden I'm explaining it to one of my friends, and they're like, it sounds like the show Supernatural. I'm like, oh, that was really real? I thought it was just like some little stupid, anime thing that he was like, no, it's the actual show. And as I'm watching, I'm like, oh, that's crazy. So yeah, I've been stuck on that like stupid right now, just currently watching that. So just kind of been watching stuff and just getting myself together. But yeah, that's all I got. I don't think there's anything else. Any shows or movies you're watching, sir?
Nope. I was just watching my eyelids. I was sick all weekend,
Oh,
and that was enough.
uh-huh.
And that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did find that movie with the hand.
Oh, you did?
Speak
Yeah.
was it Speak to Me or whatever?
Speak to me
Okay,
or
so
let me in or some shit.
let
Yeah,
me. Yeah.
yeah, something like that. Where you touch
So
the hand and there's a spirit on the other
spirit
hand.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a decent watch. It was a decent watch.
So I'll try to get to that one.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you enjoy it. Don't curse me out too much.
Oh,
But it was decent. It was a decent watch.
I enjoy all movies. They're entertainment.
Yeah.
I don't take it too serious. Like, oh, that was really bad. Yeah, it was corny. I wouldn't watch it again. And it did waste 2 hours of my life that I'll never get back. But it was entertainment.
Right.
God, have you ever been be with like a friend or something that just takes the movie so goddamn serious? It's like it's just a movie. You take the fun out of this shit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh God,
I appreciate that.
give it a break.
Yeah, that is crazy. I do find that to be a bit like it's just a movie. Like relax. I mean, sometimes you can see the similarities to real life in a lot of these movies, but other times, not really.
Also, some FYI. I think Grinder, the app Grinder, is laying off half of their staff.
Oh dang, Jay Wilson. Oh no.
Stranger danger.
What's that song? Grinder. The grinder song.
Didn't a couple of years ago they paid a lot of their employees to relocate either to Texas or from Texas?
Oh, I don't know.
But they had a lot of them that were supposed to be, moving. That they moved. It was one of those stipulations. If you want your job, you have to relocate. You got to relocate.
Oh.
So I was like, wow, just to find out you're going to be laid off.
Yeah, that's right. How about moving to a new city for this job and then find out that you're going to get laid off? That's crazy. Hey, Lindsey, how are you? Hey, Starbell. Hey, everybody. Thank you for popping in. I, of course, was running my mouth, so I didn't see a lot of everybody. I'm just running through right now, looking at everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this evening. Me and Brother Nate, myself. I didn't even do your little intro thing. That's because it was messing up. If it wasn't messing up, you would have got your little.
I got my laugh.
your little intro. Your little Shaft intro.
Shaft? No, you didn't. Yeah, it does remind me of Shaft. That is funny.
Nice. But yeah, that's all I got. I got. Good people.
Yeah. Did you hear about Sheila? You hear about Sheila Dixon?
No. What happened with Sheila Dixon?
She's planning on running again for mayor.
Okay, that's interesting. Did she work out that thing with the? Did she pay off that restitution for them?
She gave back their gift cards. The gift cards and the gift cards and what is it? Gift cards, like an Xbox, and a mink coat or something. That was
right. And then there was some money from a book that she didn't disclose. I think that was it.
What was that? What's the other chick's name? And I liked her too.
Yeah, she was okay. Although I don't think she liked the job too much. What was her name?
But I used to see her down the park all the time. We'd be down, early morning running. Mm-hmm.
She was the former DA.
Yeah, and she always wore designer clothes because I've never seen women wear skirts like that anymore. But she's real nice.
Yeah. She didn't look so nice.
But she was. She was. We have conversations and stuff like that. I see her down the park on Saturday mornings with her. She would be running, and of course, the motorcade would be falling. Her security motorcade would be falling behind her, wasting gas with a big ass Suburban.
Right.
Blocking up the road.
Right.
And Sheila Dixon would come down there too because she would be riding her bike and stuff through the park. I don't know what for. You can't go but so far.
Right.
But yeah, I was surprised she's going to give it another run because
Well,
they were all in office at the same time.
At the same time, yeah, that's what I'm saying. She wound up the mayor wound up taking her seat when she had to leave because of the whole thingamabob.
No, that was what's the other girl's name? Stephanie Rollins Blake. Took Sheila Dixon's spot.
Yes. Her.
And then you remember her from the Freddie Gray.
Yeah. That's
murder.
what I was thinking of, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but I was surprised she was talking about running again.
I thought she would have run for something else.
Well, she did. She ran before, but
not for mayor again. I thought she would run for like
for
Congress,
Tom controller or something else like that. She's good. She's just arrogant, and I think that's what turns people off to her because she would be like, the city was having some issues with layoffs and things like that, and they were furloughing. They weren't laying off; they were giving furloughs, and some of the other people in city council and things, they were foregoing, certain amount of money. I don't know if it was vacation or whatever. And she was like, I got 2 kids. And she actually came out and said, I got 2 kids in college. I can't afford to be giving my money. I mean, she was just like that, right? Even if you thought that in your mind, it's like, well, I have responsibilities. But just the way she came off. Yeah. But things actually did get done. And you could actually see them in real time, not 2 or 3 years later. Right. And the city became cleaner. It became calmer. There were things for the kids to do at the recreational centers. They were opening up. They were revamping them and giving monies for after school programs and things like that. And then she goes and does something stupid.
Right. How would you rate the current mayor?
He's relatively quiet. I really don't see too much. The city, I don't know, just with all the turmoil from Trump, it's been relatively stable. It's pretty much one of those things. You really can't do too much because you don't know what the fuck is going on.
Right. Yeah.
They're talking about, crime and things like that. But it's that whole, the COVID situation, people don't have no money. So it's not a fair look at, it's not under, we're not under prime conditions, normal conditions. Right. So it's kind of hard to say, but he's relatively quiet. Okay. And he's been in there forever because he was on city council.
Yeah. He was
like that.
On city council, yeah. Before
what? But it's just when the women got in the office, where I don't know if they were just gunning for him or what. Which I think it was because Baltimore was a pretty white. Yeah, white boys thing. Yeah. And they were always doing some shit and come to find out, so and so's brother got contracts and that was another thing too. Sheila Dixon, she was giving contracts to her family for construction and things like that. So it was other stuff.
I mean, it's the same stuff the white folks do.
Folks were doing, but see, the white folks ain't saying them. They kept it all hush hush. But once the blacks started getting in there, all of a sudden you can't have this, and this is a problem. It's like you motherfuckers been doing this since day one,
right?
So
Governor Hogan just stopped doing it. He just stopped before he left.
Yeah, because all this shit started coming out.
Yeah.
They were talking again about Tim Scott, his single status, and he came up with some girlfriend. And
I know
they checked in real time, and it was like some of his friends were like, "What girlfriend? We've never seen him."
Was a girlfriend?
Right.
Of course, they was going. I knew that. I was like, it's just a matter of time. Once they started bringing that out, and it hit the news that conservatives were concerned about him being single. I was like, watch they whip up this white woman real quick. I'm talking about, we're so in love.
They look right. Jenny Thomas. Another one.
Another.
Yeah, either that or
both of them like in Boo Jelly dildo.
It's my turn now.
Right.
Did you put the condom on the dildo? It helps keep it clean.
One likes hers with donuts.
That is great. That is crazy. But it's like, I mean, but these are the Christian, the evangelicals. They want to make sure you have a wife. Now, if he happy being single, that's perfectly fine.
Single. What does him being single have to do with anything about him being running in office? Nothing.
Not a thing.
Not a
thing. At least he would be more focused because he doesn't have a family, immediate family to concern himself with.
And then furthermore, you wouldn't be worried about no Monica Lewinsky kind of situation because at the end of the day, the man is single. So if he needed somebody
that or Donald Trump, he's married, having an affair. His wife knows about it.
But he's still
he's a sexual predator.
But he's still on the moral high ground.
Yeah, because he's our savior.
White Jesus. But yeah, I don't know. Just crazy. All right, guys. It's been real. It's been fun. Any parting thoughts, prayers, concerns before we head up on out of here?
Pray for that guy they finally got him out of that cave. I don't know how long he was in there, about a week. And why are you laughing? See, I wasn't even gonna laugh yet. I was gonna laugh towards the end. More white people doing dumb shit.
Oh Lord.
Why you get all the way down 5,000 feet below the Earth's crust to get bubble guts? Now you know that cave was lit and cold, and because further underground it's cold.
It's cold, yeah.
And he was trapped underground. If you trapped underground and you couldn't, that would be like my worst to be claustrophobic in the area. And it's like I couldn't even eat because if I gain 5 pounds, I may not be able to squeeze through this crack or something, But they had interviewed, I guess his companions that stayed down there with him, and they're talking, and you can see the cold air, the heat from their breath, and I was like, it's like, oh my God, that's like the worst thing. Nobody even thinks about that, but you like thousands of feet underground. A lot of times they just leave them.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you can retrieve a body. You just have to leave it there. Right. Then they probably seal off the cave or something. Right. But first thing I thought was, white people got a lot of time on their hands to do dumb shit. Yeah, no fucking way in the world I'm going to crawl in somebody's sinkhole in the ground. Especially now with all this global warming. You got earthquakes, you got fires, and everything else.
Everything else, yeah. I don't know. That's a bold move. But again,
they got him out, so that's a good thing.
And speaking of get out, remember that they're still on the loose. The guy in Pennsylvania, I believe he's in the Chester area of Pennsylvania. For those of you in the Chester area of Pennsylvania, I know the guy is still out on the loose, so be careful.
Yeah,
he said
and he changed
now.
He shaved off his beard and mustache. He's clean cut now.
Right, and he has a rifle. Apparently, all these details about a man they can't find, but they know he's armed and he has a rifle. Yeah.
Crazy.
Just absolutely crazy. Because if they wanted to find him and get him, I believe they would have gotten him a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. If he was black.
Right. That's exactly what I was saying, but not saying. Because
he could blend in, even though he's from Venezuela or someplace.
No, because he's the white that they don't mind. He's the light, bright that they don't mind being around. So
and supposedly he murdered his wife in front of his children.
Yeah. But he's armed and dangerous, so be careful. Hey, Kwame, thanks you for stopping by, brother. So be careful for those of you in Pennsylvania.
He's probably up in Amish town.
He's armed and dangerous. Yeah, he might as well. I mean, Chester, he's not too far from it. There's some pockets in there. So I'm sure he's in Ezekiel's barn, chilling. But yeah, be careful. Be careful.
Have you
That's
ever
all.
heard of a movie? Have you ever heard of a movie called Birth and Rebirth?
Birth and Rebirth. No.
Okay, I have to look that up.
Okay, I will definitely check that out because it sounds interesting.
Huh.
No.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, so without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with me this evening. Thank you for hanging out with me and Brother Nate. And as always, please be safe. Continue to wear your mask because, like I told you, the 19 is back on the swivel. Just because
she back.
Is letting up does not mean that hasn't went anywhere, even during this whole summer heat. It has still been here, but
and that's just hot Rona.
yeah, it's a hot box. So be careful, be safe, wear your mask, moisturize. Stop looking around here, walking around here looking dry and dusty. Please moisturize. It is important. And that's all I got. And until next time.
And don't be picking up blue jellyfish.
Yes,
off of the beach.
Jellyfish alone.
Don't let your kids play with the dildos.
And yeah, please don't let your children play with anything. And when you got to go to the bathroom, just go. Stop trying to be cute before you shit on everybody.
Oh, that was just a mess.
That was really.
I thought that was Spirit Airlines when I first saw that. I didn't know what airlines it was.
Yeah,
I said that sounds like Spirit. I don't know why it just popped into my head.
And they make you pay to use the bathroom. Talking about something you need to pay to use the bathroom. I thought it would be something like Spirit too, to be like,
wow,
pay to use the bathroom. So the person was like, I'm not paying to use the bathroom. I got to shit and just shit all over everything. But the person just did not make it in time. Yeah, so make sure.
Like I said, I don't know why he should have just laid down.
Yeah.
He should just, like I said, because I didn't know they had beds on the plane.
No, they don't have no bed on the plane.
Yes, they do. They have beds on the plane. They fold down.
On that one?
No, that was shit on the plane. But they have beds on the plane.
Yeah, for some of those like United Emirates and all those type of kind of.
No, I mean not like luxury, but like an emergency, like a cot type thing where it just flips down. Somebody gets ill. They have beds on the plane.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, maybe they should have put them on that. Let them shit on that.
I'll tell you one thing. The Mile High Club won't be no screwing in those bathrooms. No. They too damn small anyway.
Jesus Christ, the smell. But anyway, all right, guys. You have a good night. God bless. Be safe. And until next time, America, peace.
Take care.